Into the penultimate night we go of Runenburg. We have a Shower of Blows hero who's been performing well. Performing to spec, at least. We probably don't need to bother... Like, are they already at full? No, they're only at 359. Okay, so we do keep going. They hit really hard. It is kind of shocking. Okay. Once we get them stacked up, we will we'll stop. What a far cry between the two of those. Hello, friendos. Okay. And we're very interested in, we want to see if our Momentum Sadist build actually works the way that we think that it does. Like, because I like the idea conceptually. By the way, the God Diablo, thank you for the follow. I don't think I necessarily called that one out when it happened, but greatly appreciated. Yes, it's interesting. I really like field study on these heroes. Hold on, I gotta try this out. No, I should wait until we have a better cluster to use the Grape Shot scroll. I think it's going to be hilarious, though. You're not making it in. Sorry, I had to get some food, but yeah, I read that's, I read the whys of your site and happy to see it. Amazing, yeah. Oh, amazing, ecstatic. I put that out there because I think it's a familiar story, and I'm glad to hear that that it resonates with you as well. I need to figure out how to get our Warcry hero to take some damage. That's next on the list. That was a 9K hit. Casual. We're probably capped, right? Yeah, we're capped by quite a bit. So we'll just chill for a minute. Okay, you were exploding for minus 90% damage. It's a bad time to be you. We got double boomers here. We don't have to deal with them right now, though. Right now, we're struggling a little with mob density. I don't have enough mobs. That is the fault of our ballistas, though. So I can't complain too much. What do I do to get you hit? How much does this guy explode for? He explodes from, was like 278. There's a possibility we could bait we could get an explosion to take us down to low health. That sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do it. Also, I didn't check the elites to see if they were, if we were in any danger. Looks like we're not. Kaboom. Goodbye. Goodbye. I just want to see how much damage this does. So we'll do this. Okay, those are like 2000s. Solid. Okay, you're a dwarf, so if we move you to here, no, we have to go a little further. Okay. Okay, so if I shoot this guy right now, we're far enough away we don't get boomed. And this guy explodes for 200. That's a sweet spot for us. Yeah. That's good. Get that war cry going a little better. Oh, really thought that would get the kill. Don't get sandblasted by those hunters. Yeah, that's a fair point. I should probably be mindful of that. Thought I gave it my poison hero, Is my poison hero a dwarf? What's the best way to protect you? It's probably to enable Oh, you don't have enough AP then. We have transfers available though. So maybe we do this. Now, you have a lot of skill range, right? Good. See, no more hunters. Beautiful. All right, move you back. So Shower of Blows is literally adding more than the damage cap at this point. Now you... How far are you walking? You're fine. We'll just hit each of those for 2. Leaving this harpy is embarrassing. You can't really help with it. You can probably help with it. This would have been a much simpler way to deal with that, too. I'm looking at it. What do we got? Okay, that looks good. Have I ever tried to make my own game ecstatic? I have not. A lot of my coding has been, like, obviously, like, you know, for the channel, I've done, like, some interesting various coding projects, but never any game engine stuff, which is not to say that I wouldn't be interested in it, but that is a very, like, that would be a very big project that at this point, because I'm pretty committed to, like, the streaming that I'm doing, you know, I'd have to go kind of like the pirate software route and find a way to stream it. I did stream some mod development a while back, and it was not my most well-received content. Because, you know, I'm not saying that as a complaint, just as like an observation. So I think it might be a little tough to get off the ground. But it could be really fun. I do certainly have a lot of ideas about the wonderful world of game balancing and game design, etc. So it would certainly be a neat concept to play with. Boom, boom, boom. Now, one interesting question that we have yet to answer here. Does this guy mess with us? We have 40% resistance, 50 block. Yeah, I think that boomer might not be something we want to just like take to the face. Yeah, huge commitment. Huge commitment. And I will say, at least at the moment, I don't know that I have like a unique inspiration. You know, when I think about it, like, what kind of game would I want to make? I'm not sure I have a great answer to that question, which I think would be the real thing that would push me to do that. Like, there's so many games that I absolutely love. And Computer Dream, yeah, the big is like what I do with streaming is already like a pretty large time commitment. I spend a lot of time like behind the scenes doing a lot of stuff and developing little pieces of software to help me out with that. And this would be on an entirely other level. Our poor Poison Hero has basically had, like, the most boring life ever. He's had, like, nothing to do this whole time. Let's see, we'll do this. What do we have here? Even if I walk one less step, we'll just zap that guy. All right. I don't think we're in any imminent danger. Yeah, I would want to do something like, I want to do something unique, you know, like that would be very important to me, and I recognize that that's a very high bar to clear. Yeah, most of the cool stuff has been done, and until something, you know, like comes along and you're just like, wow, you know, like when Vampire Survivor first came along, that's like a really good example of it felt really unique and really fresh. But that's hard to come by. Humph. I take it that what's your, you're actually at 21. I feel like we've been missing a lot with our momentum here, Al. Are you all done? No, you still have... The last spell meets Ember Ward while all the heroes have DD-style gaming relationships. Darkest Dungeon. I mean, sounds like a perfect game. Definitely doesn't have too many systems in it, in Lustrous. Yeah, like, there's so many amazing games right now. Ember Ward, in particular, has really captured my attention. Which is why I think after this we may dip into it. And that, my friends, is all she wrote on the penultimate night here. Our hedgehog desperately needs Berserk. That's one of the things that we're looking for. No, I don't know why I'm doing this with you when I have you available. Yeah, I mean, if you're building something that's largely like derivative, and you know that, then it just like, you know, you borrow the best things from all the different games that are out there, and you can create really awesome things. But like, you know, a game that feels very unique to me, that came out not too long ago, was Cobalt Core. I felt like that was a really unique take on that genre. But those are pretty rare, I feel like. Okay, we're gonna slap down one here, one over here. I'm gonna cheat this one out a little bit to about there. Then I'm gonna put one, looks like here is a good place to put it. We'll grab, I think I like that spot, and then we get one more. I feel like I'm good enough. We'll save the rest for walls. Yeah, Slay the Spire derivative games are incredibly common. I'm going to take a little bit of resistance here just because I'm worried that we're going to get chipped down a bit by the statues. on our Warcry hero. I know that's potentially like a weird thing. We take Big Game Hunter because obviously we're going to be fighting inside less. The movement seems good. Almost didn't take that just out of principle, but... that's the game that that Donkey's company Big Mode Games sponsored, right? Looks beautiful. Anything else that we could do better with? Well, attack enemies with full health, more reliability and accuracy. So yeah, so I know of it. Ecstatic. It seems like it's a very story-driven game. Looks awesome. I will say, like, looks fantastic. Yeah, whole game is like 34 megs. Yeah, I saw a video on that and I was like, that's mind-boggling. Really cool though, really cool. But yes, games of that nature on this channel haven't always performed the best. And sometimes they can be like a really long commitment. And everyone was playing Animal Well when it first came out, so. But it looks very cool. Up there with Outer Wilds and Tunic for those kinds of games that explain little and you kind of learn by doing. Yep. It's a nice chest. I think we probably grabbed the chest. Yeah, I do like those types of games where you just kind of like figure it out as you're going. 2 move, momentum. The physical damage isn't that useful. I think we reroll this one, potentially. Did we ever get Poison Pants for our Poison Pantaloon Neater? Yes, we did. Okay. That's pretty nice for them. Take that. We'll reroll here. Hello, governor. Wow. It's a nice freaking crossbow. I will take it. Oh, that's a nice little crossbow, too. It not being level 5 is slightly less optimal, but... Take this for selling. Potentially this dagger works for us. What are you rocking? Yeah, why not? Now, our Blessing hero could take a Great Axe. Hypothetically. Might happen. A bully medal could be curious. Come back to that. Commander's pants are pretty nice. I think we might only have level 3 War Shield. I don't know what the heck happened there. What do you... we could do that. I think that gets them to Poison Cap. Not that Poison Cap is particularly important, but... I think the other one is better, so we'll take the level 5 there. And then... I'm not convinced we don't want that offhand axe. So let's dole out some gear, and then I'll figure out what we're doing. That puts you at 6 skill range. That's good. Okay, you already have level 5 stuff, so I guess movement is better than health and reliability. Sure. Oh, that's fine. Put that there. Then Runnar here. I think Runnar here is going double hand crossbow. And then I was hoping we could use this multi-hit shield. Actually, we can use the multi-hit shield on you. That's fine. We don't need an offhand crossbow. That's getting sold. That's getting sold. Yeah, all our offhands are used. You can go down to 9 AP, and we can probably give this to our hedgehog. Or you, actually. That works. What's your skill range at? 2? Yeah, what are your hedgehog? Let's get you appropriately annotated. There we go. We'll do that. And yeah, unfortunately our Warcry here I don't think can use the Great Axe because I don't want to lose the offhands. Anybody need a chest piece? No, I don't think so. Now, I was going to do that. These trinkets are an embarrassment. I'm just going to take them off so I don't get confused. And then you can do that so you have a little more crit. Okay. I like it. It doesn't feel overpowered. It's definitely stronger though. Like it's I definitely feel the increased power. We can buy those. We'll grab them. Rain of arrows is not undodgeable. I would like it if it was. Oh, my neck is killing me. That shield is kind of interesting. How does it compare to what we're rocking? Yeah, that's a nice shield. We'll grab that. Earthquake Strike Smith's Anvil. I don't know about that. Yeah, so this mod that Illustrious put together, it rebalances the shop, and it's very interesting. If I just swap this with this, you stay at 1,000. Ah, that's great. Okay, but now you're at 4 multi-hit. Okay. What was I was thinking about taking Bully. So let's grab that. Do the Lion Shield. Very lightly modded. Yeah. This one just means that there's going to be a few more items and a few more trinkets available in the shop. That was the main change that Illustrious made. And so we're testing it out and trying to decide. And so far, it feels good. I'm enjoying it. Do we have anything else we need to buy? Ooh, Field Study. I was saying I wanted Field Study. Oh, I think I'll grab it. Because I think our Shower of Blows hero, yeah, has a trash trinket. And Field Study works well for them. That's nice. We need a lot more trinkets. We need to start finding some. I wonder what happens if you have 2 Fear of Death trinkets. I don't think it does anything. That would be my suspicion. Proximity shot we don't need. Yeah, if you are at all interested, Computer Dream, in tinkering, I did do a video explaining how to mod the last spell, which I think has been helpful for some folks. figured out what tools you need and that kind of stuff. Most of the modding that's been done to the game has been strictly game files rather than delving too much into the code. But Dio is working on a mod at the moment that has some pretty comprehensive changes to the to the code itself that adds some very interesting stuff, like the ability to move monsters, which I'm very excited about. I have not seen an endless mode as of yet. That's I think that's pretty tricky. That would be a very heavy change on the code side. The reason being, oh, we can see if Human Ballista. So Human Ballista is not undodgeable. We were talking about this before. Let's check the perk. Yeah, not undodgeable. Okay. Because that was going to be another shower of blows potential useful thing. What's our hat on our Warcry hero? I'll lose an action point for a multi-hit. That works for me. I think we may have more warp crystals than we know what to do with here. Because I don't think I can take off either of these shields. Well, I mean, that's... yeah, that's not bad. We can do that. And the 32 armor... ah, that still cancels it out. That's good. And then... over here, I can probably do that. That's fine. Let's get everybody a warp crystal. Or a warp scroll at the very least. Our Warcry hero I'm a little less concerned about. And we still have non-existent trinkets. Over here. So that's something we still need to correct. It's funny that I'm feeling so trinket starved given we've had access to so many more trinkets. Mood swing for night 8. No, thank you. Yep. Ecstatic, one thing that I have said before that I would really love, I think that dagger's worth picking up. I would love for there to be like a Hall of Fame for heroes. So you can go back and like tag heroes as heroes you want to be able to save and go back and look at. And then the other thing that I would love is a mode that specifically you take your Hall of Famers into. Some type of like incredibly intense night 1 is like instantly insane type of experience. I think could be super duper fun. All right, well, the skill range, we're losing the skill range that we picked up. Oh, and actually, are we already full on? No, we're not quite full on poison. But we're gaining like 7% poison for 2 skill range, so that doesn't work. Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. Just since I don't think we're going to get trinkets otherwise. We had this hero that just needs... yeah, that's fine. And I'll probably sell this, pick up this. You have warp, you have warp, warp. You probably don't need it, but we'll give you a bad one anyways. Okay. Well, let's upgrade some walls. I don't suspect that we will need them. And at the rate that our materials are going down, I'm probably going to be doing this again with stone walls in just a second. We already did our warp gates, so... oh, okay, we didn't make it as far as I thought we were going to make it. Omen of rarity, quality, discount for the shop only. You know that feeling when you're near the end of a project and you're suddenly hyped by the next one? Yeah, tell me about it. Let's see. Did I just see... Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta let the dog in. 1 sec. Yes, very important, Dio. One project at a time. All right, one last roll for all the marbles, it looks like. Yeah, I don't see anything of interest. All right, let's lay our folks down and get down to work. I'll put you over here. Always a good place for them. You... I want you on a side with someone else. So I'm gonna put you over here and like you over here. Actually, you're probably really good on this side. Yeah, that seems reasonable. We'll put our momentum hero over here. Then our poison hero I'm gonna put over here. Okay, is everybody in a place that makes sense? Wait, our Warcry hero has not been relocated. Our Warcry hero can be over here. Okay. Let's play the game. Night number 8 of Runenburg. To make the shop even more OP, I think we need to find a counterbalance for the OP-ness. Phrasing on that, let's ignore. But, you know, you get the picture. There needed to be more separation with that hyphen, I think. If you break down the item subsets and make the shop sell one of each subset, it's going to be even more consistent. Could be very cool. There's something deeply satisfying about the idea that we can actually hit stuff and have our poison be utilized. Oh, what a world we live in now. Our poison hero finally gets to do something amazing. Now, what did we pick up here? Did we change anything? Oh yeah, we have field study. Okay. So every once in a while we'll get an extra bit of range. Okie doke. Is there a way that I can move where I get all of them? Nice. This hero is impressively inaccurate. Did we tank their accuracy like all the way down to 0? What's going on here? Accuracy 18. I guess it's really just the range tax. There we go. All right, everybody's done some stuff. We should probably get some opportunism cranking on here. Oh, we haven't done you. Nice. Okay, good. Oh, we never found Berserk. That's a shame. Hero is still strong though. I blame our Warcry hero for that. Okay. Oh, I did move our Shower of Blows hero, so they're a lot less advantageous for taking out those. Berserk is certainly nice for hedgehogs, but I don't know that it's like crazy important. Now, you're gonna have a really hard time getting there. You have a warp crystal, right? And a lot of mana that you're never gonna use. All right, we'll have our Warcry hero come over here and do the job on this one. If I teleport to here, I don't think I have a good shot at it. Kind of an awkward place we're in right now for being able to see everything. Maybe we could see it from here? Probably not, though. Okay, and then if I run over this way, at least I can threaten some runners here. Okay. Oh, well, Carnage stacking up too. Nice. Should have used proc shot there. That was a little sloppy. Let's see. Do we have a pair of enemies here that we can actually see? There we go. So let's do this twice just to get our opportunism stacks. All right, we did all the rune stones. Field study is slowly growing, meaning that we'll be able to cover this whole side when all is said and done. For them claiming this side was a densely packed side, I'm not fully seeing it. Hey, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. We're doing too much damage, as is often the problem with these heroes. Don't really want to get hit by that guy. All right, then you have done what there is to do. You're chilling. You are also chilling. Okay. I had quite a backlog of YouTube comments today, so I'm glad I got through most of them. I'll finish up all the YouTube comments later today. Should have some time today to catch up. Although, what time is it now? I don't have... My tablet that's where I usually look at, where I usually monitor chat, is also the tablet that has the clock on it. Oh, ow. Our momentum hero is still surprisingly fragile. Guess we have to pay attention to that. One, two, three, so we can zap you. Oh yeah, and we have volatile, so we can hit a larger we can hit diagonal enemies for getting our propagation bounces to get opportunism procced. Okie dokie. And so it begins. Yeah, quick reload. I wish we had it. This guy's holding down his own, just doesn't quite have the quantity of... Like, the AP is a little low, and the density of mobs up there is a little low. Is this even gonna hit you? No, this is too far away. Yeah, it is. Okay, nobody's coming in there, and then you... Spread the poison? Okay. I think that's good. You could transfer if there was anyone to transfer to, but there's not. Is there any way you can you walk around and get a shot at these guys? No, it doesn't look like it. So I think we just retreat. Okay. Does it always zoom out to do this? That looked weird. It's hammer time, says our propagatorist. Shame there's no easy way to download and combine different mod files. So in Lustrous, I talked, I don't remember if you were around, but I talked about it as something that I would love to make a mod loader for the last spell. And at least for the XML stuff, it's clearly doable. You know, that doesn't mean that it's easy. Obviously, all the code that we have is like sample code, because we do have some sample code in the form of the fact that UBAE is open source. But it's not written in... It's written in C#. I'm not fully familiar with like all the libraries, etc. So, you know, it is still not without complexity, but it's certainly also not out of the question. Did that not hit the harpy? Pax, new tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Welcome on in, Pax. But yeah, I was thinking that there might be some opportunity there. We might be able to do something. I don't know that it would be particularly straightforward. It would be a lot of work. But it's something that's a little tempting. I will say, like, it sounds super fun, and it would be really, I think, huge for the community to have something like that. So, you know, something to think about. I was contemplating it as part of the challenge mode section of the website that we've been talking about. I think that there's... You know, it would be nice to make it easy for people to install mods. Corpus Risky, that could be awesome. I would be super interested. So we know how to do it, right? So okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So the way that I would want to approach it is I would want to approach it pretty simply, which is to say that we define a mod to the game as a zip file that contains XML files that are replacements for the XML files that are inside of the shared assets file. And what we would do is we would want to take all of the mods that are loaded, combine all of their XMLs, and initially just detect if two mods modify the same game file. If that happens, we have a merge conflict, and then we just like report an error in the UI. But if each of the mods is modifying different files, then we just compile all those into a list and then use the code from UBAE to inject all of that into the shared asset file, and Bob's your uncle. So I don't think it is like hyper complicated to do that. Like, I think what I just described is pretty straightforward, and the result would be like 99% of what we would want or need, right? It would give us the ability to be like, you know, the shopkeeper mod only modifies this file, so it's compatible with these mods. Obviously, like, you know, for Dio's mods, and once we start to talk about modifying, like, the code, things get more complicated, and I don't think we would want to tackle that right away. But, initially speaking, I think what I just described would be like a 90% MVP that would make it really accessible by the entire community, which could be super fun. I would love to do that. And I think the hardest part is being able to generate and inject those XML files. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the way that you do game code modification is you create a, like, in the Java world, you create what's referred to as like a custom class loader, which basically lets you sub in specific classes that you've rewritten. But that would be a big lift for us, I think. But that being said, that first version that I just described would mean that people could load challenge files. They could try multiple challenges at the same time. We could start stacking challenges without having to create bespoke custom stuff, which would be, I think, a huge boon for the community. Yeah, Dio, I think we could do something like that. It's a little more complicated. Yeah, I've only worked with Harmony and C# based, and it let you overwrite classes. Yeah, I think that something like that would be more complicated. Still not out of the question, but what I just described would be very simple. The hardest part is basically taking the existing code for UBAE and figuring out how to utilize it. Okay, did one of the statues come alive? Okay, let's try and kill the statue. This is the wrong person to kill the statue, I will say. Let's have you come over and do it, because I think, yeah, you have our potions. Okay, so this works out nicely. We'll have you come over. But yeah, I don't think it's super heavyweight, and I think the find and replace instructions is good for... It's good for the final product, Dio. Like, it's good for helping with merge conflicts. The issue is that it's bad for mod devs, right? So it increases the boundary of difficulty for when you're creating a mod, because you have to be able to define it in a different fashion. It's not as simple as just being like, here's my modded XML files. I copied them all into a folder and zipped them up, which to me is like the ideal. Right, that means it's very easy to create a modded game file, which to me is a big boon, I guess, for lack of a better. I'm wondering if our hedgehog is going to have to run away. I was not expecting to have 4. Okay, we're not going to have to run away. Not expecting to have 4 bulkies show up. Or 3 bulkies show up all simultaneously, but we handled it. But yeah, what I just described, I think, is the only technical hurdle is figuring out how to create a shared asset file. And I can speak from experience in trying to create the guide for how to mod the game. What I found was that the last spell, unsurprisingly, is very picky about how its shared asset file is encoded. Like, I found like 5 different ways to modify the game, basically. Like 5 different software packages that said that they could pack asset files. And the problem was only one of them wasn't rejected by the last spell when we fired it up. Yeah, it's not out of the question, Dio. I do think that from my perspective, it probably looks like that probably might be part of like a V2. Simply because I think like V1 would already be like, a huge improvement over what we have. And wouldn't require, like, I'm trying to think what I would want the syntax to be like for that type of like find and replace. And it's a little tricky. Oh, that not working was a bummer. Can I get a diagonal through if I go one step further? Can I get like to you? I can't. Okay. Let's see. So do we finish these off and maybe like toss one of those there? Okay, and then I will jump across. Hi, hello computer. Do need to get to the root of whatever is causing the system slowdown on my computer, because that's really frustrating too. But let's see. But yeah, I think we could do something like that. I think it could be really surprisingly awesome. Just the simplest version of this that we're talking about right now would still be insanely awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely lagged there. Granted, it's Thursday, and I have not rebooted my computer since Monday, but this didn't used to happen. So I need to figure this out. There was a momentary lag spike. We're up to 1,000 damage and minus 700 accuracy. The dream remains alive. All right, this should be a corrupted runestone turn, I think. I just moved into harm's way. Let's not do that. I do believe so. All right. I had some thoughts about how to handle that kind of instruction when I say hype for the next project, and there is still multiple types of instructions needed. Yeah, I think, like, you know, certainly, like, I could imagine kind of like a regex replace type of thing, right? Where you just put your stuff in. I do feel like the other component of that, Dio, is it still is very difficult for us to detect if there's a conflict, right? Having one person edit a file and then another person edit a file could still result in a conflict. Like, and so, like, at the end of the day, like, I think obviously, like, the safe bet, quote unquote, is just to be like, you know, if the two things have any, like, shared files in order, it's a conflict. But I don't know how we would figure out the logic to confirm if something, if two files modified the same part of a file, could be like a pretty tricky thing. I guess we could track which lines were changed by the regex, and then we might know, but it's still possible that that would be okay too. It's kind of weird. Editing the same part is more of a feature for you. Sure, but Dio, what happens when your mod gets stomped on by someone else doing something silly? You know what I mean? Like, that's the challenge, is that there's still a, like, you know, it's all well and good if, you know, if you make multiple mods that interface with each other in, like, cool and interesting ways. But I worry that what's actually going to happen is you're going to have mods that, like, break one another in kind of, like, weird and awkward sort of ways. That's my concern. Oh, we didn't do this one. All right, Momentum Hero can take out this one. That's fine. And yes, it's more fun killing the boomers than it is clearing around, so I'm just going for that. Did I leave any? No, it all looks good. Okay, let's see. Over here. TLDR, we're trying to do a simple program, take mod files and upload and install them all together while checking for compatibility issues. Yes, correct. That is a succinct description of what I think we would want in an MVP. Yeah, we want to be able to grab a list of mod files that potentially are coming from multiple mod authors and smash them all together and put them in the right directory in your last spell folder so that you can use them. That's pretty much like the short version, I think. All right, field study has officially entered full range mode. How's our crit power? Because this is another thing that I'm curious about. Our crit power is not great. Only 227. Yeah, that's not fantastic. Okay, you have a little more movement. Let's move you back. We just killed Corrupted Runestone, so we should have 2 dwarf statues showing up now. There are plenty of file diffing tools a mod loader could invoke. No need to reinvent that wheel. So, sure, right, running programmatic diffs you can do in multiple ways. Corpus Christi, the issue from my perspective is understanding the interactions when two mods modify similar or adjacent things, if that makes sense. Like, 100% in agreement that that we could tell if, say, like we could find a Python library or something like that that does diffing in order to kind of tell if, like what has changed, etc. But I don't know that we could really semantically understand if those two mods are breaking one another. That's what I'm kind of getting at. All right. Where are 2? Okay, so you get to kill this one, it looks like. Not as impressive as our last Shower of Blows hero, but still a good job. Still doing a good job. Well, but Dio, the problem with that statement from my perspective is that, like, when you say like mod compatibility, the challenge there is that one mod author doesn't even know about all the other mods that exist, right? Like that's the challenge from my perspective is if 2 people create mods with no knowledge that one another exist, and then, what a person using the software wants to be like, okay, I would like to... Actually, we should do an opening salvo here. I want to use these 2 mods. They both excite me. And we don't have, like... Then they just load them with the mod loader, and we're like, oh, okay, what happens now is basically the issue. But yeah, agreed. It would not have any auto merge capabilities necessarily, or any auto merge conflicts would be unresolvable. But that's kind of the whole point of what Dio is describing, is this idea of we could make it so that our resolution for mods being, like, I originally suggested that we just say, hey, there is an error. Your 2 mods that you selected both modify the shop file, cannot proceed at this moment, right? And Dio is like, we could probably do better than that. And I agree with him, or her. Sorry, Dio, I don't know your gender. I'll just say they. My bad. And I agree that we could do that. Azwerg, welcome on in. Good to see you. We could do that, but it would become a little opaque for the end user, is the only concern from my perspective. Like, understanding if 2 mods are compatible is easy if the discussion is just, these modify the same file, we don't have the ability to resolve it, basically. We're trying out a mod that Illustrious made, Zwerg, that is all about... Let's see, where's our final statue? Our final statue's over here. Okay. So let's run this way. We're trying out a mod that Illustrious made that changed things. Well, so yeah, except in Illustrious, like, what does it look like to... The question is, what does it look like to write a... you say, like, replace all... X with Y. Okay, replace all splitters with runners or something like that, right? So let's say that's your mod. Your mod is it just takes all instances of claws and makes them splitters. We've done that. We've done that mod before, right? And then someone else has another one that changes, say, the amount of hit points that enemies have. And they both happen to operate on the same file, hypothetically. So you do that, and then in the simplest case, you just... Okay, so this is interesting. Sorry, not to derail. Harpies cannot be converted into elite boomers. Fun fact. Didn't know that. And in doing that, each of those two mod authors writes a find and replace, essentially. Right? Their find and replace says, like, all instances of max HP are replaced by that. My point earlier was that it was easier to not check for intersection. So you're saying just completely ignore if two mods are modifying the same file? See, it seems like that's just trivial to check, but maybe not. Like checking if two mods modify the same file seems like a extremely straightforward thing to check. And the benefit is that the end user then knows reliably if they can actually use their toys. Together, at least. I don't know. But I would be happy to work on like some design docs and stuff like that. And if someone wanted to specifically handle trying to figure out how to get UBAE playing well, or yeah, like the code from UBAE working well, I mean, I would be very happy to kind of like chip in and see what I could do. That's like 90% of the problem. Just modification on the same files. Yes, it's trivial. If the modifications are on the same part of the file, it's less trivial. Right. That's what I've been saying. Right? Is that you have to detect where, if you have some type of mod, you have to detect where the change is, and then you need to determine if the parts of the files overlap. Right? Like, this is much more like technically complicated than the simpler solution, which doesn't mean that it isn't worth doing, right? I'm just saying if we wanted to get like an early MVP out the door of something, this is a lot. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then in concert with that, in Lustrous, I think we also I would also like to see us then build some type of, I'm not going to say mod repository because I think Nexus Mods is a great mod repository, but some type of space to share and communicate the mods that have been created and the nature of them that's more bespoke to the last spell. I think could be really fun. I mean, Dio, if you are interested once you've finished your mod, I'm certainly down for you to handle the component that handles bringing, modifying the XML files, right? So I could imagine someone taking on trying to do the injection of the new files, right? That could be one person's job. I could imagine someone doing some type of like this diffing / regex, like what does it look like type of thing. I do think that we should probably support whole file and regex replace. Like, I don't think doing I think it's a little janky being like, you can write a regex that replaces the whole file. I think that's a little janky. So I think you should be able to provide a whole file that gets overwritten, and then we can always like have an order of operations things where it does whole file replacements first, recognizes conflicts, and then does regex replacements afterwards, type of thing. All right, you were not very impressive, but you have to apply the resistance. So I think that's just awkward, Dio. Like, I don't think like, I think we should have like just inside of a mod file, we just have two types of files. We have XML files that are whole file replacements, and then we have like .re files for files that contain a regular expression that should be applied to a specific file. So if you do like, you know, if you do like shop.re, it will find the shop.xml file and apply the regular expression. If it's an XML file, it'll do the whole thing. Yeah, I don't want to limit it. I don't want to make this something that is particularly hard. Okay, our poison hero is not going to be the one to get the strongest hit. So let's get the resistance debuff up here. Sorry. I'm trying to multitask, I swear. But like, I don't think that's too gross anyways, right? It's just two different modalities for doing it that I think are useful, and I think, you know, we can do both. Okay, let's see. What else are we doing here? We can get this on there. And then I don't think we have that many people who are potential contenders for anything here. We should get you up to that, which means I do need to borrow a transfer for you. All right, so you're there. You can come over to here like that. So let's check out our max hits, and then we'll be done for the day. Okay, so let's see. So you're doing 14,000 damage. You are doing 24,000 damage. You are doing 8,000 damage. You're doing 2,000 damage. And you're debuffed into oblivion. So it looks like the winner for today, unsurprisingly, is 24k potential. You have 48% chance to crit. You have 38. All right. Do we have any way to increase crit? Do we have any other buffs we should be giving people? I don't think so. Oh, we can do this to get rid of the debuff. That's a good idea. You have plus 35, plus 35. Oh, we didn't even check you, but that's fine. We can use our other... Where's that other health potion? We only get one more. I'm a little curious how much better you get. Let's see. So now you're doing... it doesn't matter. 24,000 damage. Let's hope for the crit. Big money, no weapon. No whammies. So that was 7k? We did not get the crit. Boring. Good run, though. And I love the brainstorming here. What we should do is we should create a new thread in the Discord just to talk about mod loader stuff. And I'm happy to write up some design documents with kind of like what I think is like the MVP that we would need. And then I can put that out. We can solicit some feedback and start working on it and start doling out people to work on proof of concepts for various pieces. But I'm super happy to support regex-based stuff. I just don't think it should be the only way that we do it. I think we should have two separate paths so that people that just want to figure out how to modify an XML file can just do that. And then people who want to do more robust modding can do that too. And I think that's a really good compromise. Yeah. Like, and then that gives us the ability to kind of like expand on that moving forward as we learn more stuff. Eventually we can talk about potential code changes. I think that's just a whole other can of worms type of thing. But one thing that I will say is, yep, I think that's an excellent list, Dio. I totally agree with that. with that list as the initial one. And then the other thing is I think that while I don't think we should support modifying code, I do think that we can support, we could support a DLL replacement, right? So basically, like, if someone wants to go in and modify the code themselves, they can provide their own laststand.dll, and we can also swap that in. So that can be bundled with XML changes too. And then I think that pretty much covers everything. We win. We done. Good heroes. Nobody killed that many because we had ballistas. This is always, the numbers are always sad here. But our Warcry hero was decent. They weren't top of their game. You were not great. Where's our... I do think the Shower of Blows heroes, though, very strong here. Like, for new players, I think having a hero that can kill 10 enemies per turn very reliably is quite strong. Well, so yeah, so in Lustrous, the reason that I say that is just that for the DLL, like, we're going to be writing code that says take a shared asset file we create and copy it into the game directory. That same code we can use to copy a DLL file into the directory. So it's like, it's probably like, 20 lines of code to support DLLs too. So, anyways. Yeah, Dio. I really liked it in Lustrous. I think, like, the main feedback is that I think it is a significant increase in power. Like, I think we were stronger for having had it. And I wonder if there should be some, like, counterbalance to that. But I really liked it overall. Oh, have you not had an easy time doing image stuff? My assumption was that the like big merged images is where they pull it from. I haven't tried it yet though. That's another thing that I wanted to do. Before we stop talking about this, the other thing that I wanted to do was you see up here in the top, this like apocalypse indicator with the wings. I wanted to make this something that we could edit to have the name of the mod visible there, because the apocalypse is always available on the screen in different locations. Like if we continue out, and we'll just load up a glint find really quickly. I thought it was the most elegant way to indicate that something had been modded. So we'll just go into here really quickly. This doesn't count as anything. Yeah, I would want the actual name of the mod visible in Lustrous. But, oh, I went base difficulty. Hold on. Let's try that again. I'd want the name of the mod available, because then for challenge runs in particular, it makes it very easy to verify that someone played the game with the mod enabled, right? It's not foolproof, but it's like a 90%. We could look at a screenshot and be like, they have a victory screen. They have the right mod thing loaded. They probably didn't mod the game after they beat it or something silly like that. But basically, the Roman numeral 1 through that, or part of the flame icon, I would just want to have visible text. Got it, Dio. That's good to know. That was my assumption. I think we would just modify that specifically, or find another part of the UI. I just want something that's always visible, both at the victory screen and visible in the normal one. But anyways, good run. Had fun.